What happens when world's most critical oil route becomes the front line of a silent war? And what if the next missile launch in the Middle East is not aimed at Israel, but directly in the United States? Tonight, the threat is no longer hidden behind the diplomatic language. Now, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has now issued one of the strongest warnings yet, declaring that American military bases and the warships are already locked inside, basically the targeting systems of the Iranian missile and drones. And after that, suddenly, the Strait of Hormuz is once again becoming the center of a global anxiety. Because of this, just another regional standoff is on the line. This narrow waterway carries nearly a fifth of the oil supply of the world, and one disruption there, and the fuel prices, market, shipping routes, and even the global inflation go spiraling within the days. But here's the bigger story behind this. Even while Washington publicly talks about the peace promises, the proposals, and de-escalation, Iran is speaking the language of war preparedness. The contradiction now matters. According to Iranian state media, IRGC, the commanders have warned any attack on Iranian oil tankers or maybe the commercial ships would trigger the direct retaliation against American targets in the region. Not proxies, not warnings, direct retaliation. And yet, the US President Donald Trump continues insisting that a ceasefire understanding still exists. So, the question now is very simple. Is diplomacy quietly working behind the closed doors? Or are both sides merely buying the time for each other's next escalation? Because behind the headlines, military positioning is already changing. The United States is now deploying the HMS Dragon towards the region under the London's strictly defensive mission. And now with that being said, the warships that do not move into the conflict zone without the calculations and that everything changes, Iran says that it is reviewing an American proposal meant to reduce the tensions. But you know what? Tehran also says that it no longer trusts the Washington, especially after recent confrontation near the Strait of Hormuz. And this is where the crisis becomes far more dangerous than it appears to be. And both sides, basically they claim that they want stability, and both sides claim that they want to avoid a wider war. But both sides simultaneously prepare for the confrontation. And that is how this accidental war began. And now it is going to continue. One drone, one tanker, one miscalculation in world's most important and most the busiest shipping lanes. And suddenly, the global economy is pulled into the conflict that nobody officially wanted. And tonight, missiles may be sitting in the launch positions. Warship still may be waiting at the sea. Diplomats may be talking about it. But the real question is, who fires the first patience that finally runs out? What are your thoughts on this? Make sure to comment down below.